Ongoing as we record this show is a drama of California State Assembly Bill AB 43, titled Gender Neutral Marriage and authored by Assemblymember Mark Leno. AB 43 was passed by the Assembly on June 5th and the Senate on September 7, 2007. On October 2nd, the bill went to the governor with an October 14th deadline to either sign it or veto it.
We'll include information on further developments later in the show. Stay tuned for coverage from Raymond Donald Hong's efforts covering additional October events.
This is Raymond Donald Hong. After Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger vetoed AB 849, the same-sex marriage bill, 2 years ago, Assemblymember Mark Leno reintroduced his bill as AB 43 to the California legislature, and it passed both houses. The governor announced his intention to veto AB 43 despite the increased number of co-authors on the bill and approval votes in the legislature. Same-sex marriage activists across the state rallied together to urge Schwarzenegger to reconsider his plans and not do a veto sequel.
And if we look at what's happened in the last 2 years on this issue, it is dramatic. This bill passed for the first time in 2005. But this time, 2 years later, there's been a new election and a new legislature. Every legislator who voted for this bill was reelected. And in the Assembly, there were 22 new members who voted yes for marriage equality, winning by a much wider margin than last time. And in the Senate, there were 5 new members who voted yes on marriage equality. We have gained support. The public has spoken through that election, and as elected representatives who support our right to be married. And unfortunately, this governor doesn't seem to get that.
Well, it is very frustrating, and real people are suffering real pain as a result of it. I tell the story of my friend Marvin Burrows, who'd been together with his partner for 50 years when I married them at City Hall in April of 2004. A year later, Marvin's partner, Bill, unexpectedly died. And because he did not have a marriage certificate in his hand, though they were domestic partners, they had shared their lives together for 50 years, unlike any other surviving spouse, Marvin could not access Bill's Social Security benefits, so they both paid Social Security taxes for all of their adult lives, his pension benefits, his health care benefits, even his veterans benefits. That's so wrong. And as a result of his inability to access that which every other surviving spouse could access, he could no longer afford the home that they shared for 35 years. The rent was then out of his reach, and in the midst of grieving the loss of his partner of 50 years, Marvin became homeless. That's what our public policy is doing. That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger will support if he vetoes this bill.
But fortunately, the people of California have passed already a document that protects all Californians, and that is the Constitution of California. And that embodies 2 principles. One is that every single person in this state should be treated fairly, and that no person in this state should be excluded. And so Stuart and I are here today, first to tell Governor Schwarzenegger, don't exclude us. Treat us fairly. Treat every loving couple in this state who wants to get married fairly. This is coming, oh yes, I know.
You know, it's very frustrating when you have a politician who knows in his heart what the right thing to do is. And he is surrounded by wonderful gay and lesbian people on his staff, and I really can't imagine how he can go about his daily business knowing that he's going to veto the dignity and equality of his chief of staff and her wife. I just can't imagine how he could do that, actually. But we know that Governor Schwarzenegger knows in his heart that the right thing to do is to sign this bill into law. His own chief of staff, Susan Kennedy, is a lesbian with a long-term partner that got married in Hawaii. And we're simply seeking the same dignity and rights that he enjoys for his family. We want those for our family. It's a basic issue of fairness.
We could add one name to that list with the stroke of a pen. That name would be Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. With one stroke of a pen, he could add his name to a list of 200 years of progress in this country.
AB 43, what a way to make things equal. If the governor doesn't make a veto sequel, we'll be free at last to get married if we want to, and the freedom for all in California rings true. AB 43, it was written by Mark Leno, an assemblyman who's not willing to accept no people. Say that Prop 22 will knock its lights up, but no one should get to vote on civil rights out. The thing with Governor Schwarzenegger is he's been a leader in support of LGBT equality, and there's absolutely no reason for him to create an exception to his stand against discrimination in the provision of a civil marriage license. Bring him out here. Yeah, he's folded in half. How surprising. I saw him standing there by the political machine. I knew he must have been about 63. The beat was going strong, playing equality song. And I could tell it wouldn't be long till he vote with me. Yeah, me. And I could tell it wouldn't be long till he vote with me. Yeah, me. Singing, I love equal rights, so don't do another veto, baby. I love equal rights, so come and change your mind and vote with me.
In San Francisco, this is Raymond Donald Hong for Outlook Video.
The latest news concerning California State Assembly Bill AB 43 is that Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has vetoed the bill.
This is sad, but not surprising, since he announced that this is what he would do. And he did the same thing back in 2005. We'll continue to follow this in future episodes.